So much to do and so little time. What is on today's to-do list to prepare for the opening of school? Here we are. It's time for our virtual open house. And since I'm alone in my office, I'm going to take my mask down. Look how I remove. I am Mrs. Giddins, the principal here at the Health Sciences Academy at Monroe Middle School. And what a difference a day, well, not a day, but a year makes. Last year was my first year at the Health Sciences Academy, and we had an open house, well attended and in person. And due to the constraints of our current situation, we had to move to a virtual situation. And so what I hope to do in this video is touch briefly on a few talking points just so that parents know what to expect in this school year. And I know there are a lot of unknowns, and although we're trying to work through the answers we do have, I hope people just are patient with us as we try to find our way through. First things first, that anytime anyone's in the building, except for sanctioned mask breaks, we have to wear our mask. All right, I have several, but here we are with this. So that's the mask. Since I'm alone, I'm taking mine off so you can just see and hear everything I have to say. All right, so let's just start with Plan B students, B as in boy. Those students who last names begin with the letters A through D will come on Monday. All right, Mondays will be the day where that 25% of the school comes, according to the alpha breakdown. So that's A through D. And then on Tuesdays, it's E through K. That's right, Tuesdays are E through K, last names. And then on Wednesdays, it's L through Q. And then on Thursdays, R through Z. So I sent that information out. It is on our Instagram and on our social media outlets. And so here we are, just making sure everybody knows. So it's A through D, E through K, L through Q, and R through Z. All right? And those who are in Plan D, we expect you not to arrive in the building at all. And we have 2 pots of teachers we're working with to try to make sure we maintain giving the appropriate services for every group of students. So Plan B students will be tied to their teacher in the building that is remote. That is working with students in real life and remote. And then we have a handful of teachers who would be supporting the virtual students just to make sure that we have enough human bodies to go around with all the needs. We learned a few things from the spring. Unfortunately, we're operating from a very emergency response type of angle. We weren't given an opportunity dealing with the E. coli first and then dealing with COVID. We didn't get an opportunity to make sure our young people were prepared going out into their homes to do this work. There is no optional work this year. This is the hand that we were dealt, and so we have to make the best of it. And so the work that comes from the teachers is really important that you encourage them on your end to complete this work. And we will have times built into every day. One of those is the Red Hawk response time, which is at the end of every single day, Monday through Thursday, from 3:25 to 4:05. And the students, no matter if they're virtual or remote, they should be able to reach out to their teachers and get their questions asked. Will they at times get their questions asked throughout the day? Yes, but we have secured some part of the day to make sure that our young people leave the school day knowing exactly where to go and what to do to make sure that their work is getting done. We understand that, and even for myself, it's been a long time since I've actually attended school as a student to learn math, English, science, and social studies. So what you may have learned may not be so easy to translate to what your students, your own children are learning. And we want to make sure we support them properly before they go home and try to tackle this work individually or independently. Like I said, every student needs to wear a mask, and they need to wear a mask before entering the building. And we're also going to be screening students before they enter the building, especially those that are from the car riders and walkers. Those on the bus, they will get screened right at the threshold. So if the student necessarily has a fever or something like that, we will ask that you take that student home, or if they fail the screening. Same thing will happen with staff as well. In order to keep everybody safe here in the building, we have to go through this, very specific process. And these are just one of the few things. There will be socially distanced in the halls. We'll run our building in a one-way directional. We have a plan for entering the cafeteria and exiting the cafeteria. Students will not be wandering the building unattended. We'll only allow 2 students in the bathroom at a time. And we also have videos to support some of these practices so that you can see with your own eyes how that is going to go. We're even taking our teachers on tours of how to operate in those specific areas to make sure that they can properly make sure they are walking through students, these protocols. These are not going to be easy protocols to put in place, so we really need the support of our community and our families to get this pulled off. We understand that you may not agree with everything that we have to do, but to protect the community in itself, we need everyone to agree to the terms that we've set out, and that the district and the governor and all of that have set out. So masks for everyone, and making sure you pass the screening. If we find out of a student later in the day, that student will have to go home. So you make sure that, if you think they're sick in the morning, make sure you take the steps to keep them home so it doesn't become an inconvenience for you later in the day if you think it's going to become an issue. Also, we will not be having after school detention this year because we are sometimes in a situation where all students aren't able to get home in the same exact way. And so we want to make sure we get all of our young people on the bus so they can get home safely, that belong on the bus. If you're, a car rider or a walker, then we will ask you to leave at 4:05. Also, during the car riders and walkers, we are going to dismiss by grade level. So if you're a 6th grader, I would make sure I was here to be in the front of the line so that when you're finished with picking up your young person, we're going to call them out first. Then you can peel right on out and not have to sit through that incredible line. I'm sure there'll be a lot more parents driving their kids this year than riding the bus due to, not so many kids getting on the bus and the times and all of that. And it could just, overall, you might want to increase convenience and safety. And also, we'll do similar thing with the walkers. If you have a student who is in 6th grade and also another student in 8th grade, I advise you to just wait later in the line because then you'll be still waiting for the 8th grade to show up after we've dismissed the 6th graders. We also, later in this week, will just send out a soft instructional plan. It'll just be a recommended process of how to help students go throughout their day. Is it mandatory? No. We understand every family has their own process, their own way of doing things. And so we're just trying to do whatever we can to support you guys in the long run. We understand that this is not an easy situation for anyone. If you're choosing plan B, plan D, you prefer plan C or plan A, we understand that people run the gamut of how they wish these things were happening. We at the Health Sciences Academy at Monroe Middle School are doing the very best we can. We also, we bought a small amount of HSA masks. We'll be selling those. Our dress code requirements are still the same, the khaki bottoms with the grade level color shirt. So it is black in 6th grade. We have navy blue in 7th grade, and then we have red in 8th grade. So just keep those things in mind as you're continuing to shop for clothing and for this upcoming school year and doing all that you can. And making sure our young people have their Chromebooks charged and ready every day. I think that some of our students were caught unawares of how to really operate in that environment. In order for them to thrive, we need your support in that. So remember the 3 W's: wear your mask, make sure you wash your hands, and at least social distance. Those are the 3 things we can immediately do to kind of keep our environment safe. To win academically, make sure you have your Chromebook charged and ready, that you're participating and reaching out to your teachers on the times we provide, and just asking for help and working as hard as you can. If you manage to do those things, I think that you'll be more than okay. We do miss you guys terribly, and every time we get a chance to see our young people for pickups or when they need to come up and grab something, it melts our heart that we can't always be together the way we used to be. So, love you guys. Can't wait to get this school year started just so we can see what all this is about, and stay well. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful day. Oh, the main thing, the virtual open house. You'll be able to find all of our videos for per grade level, including the grade level administrator, on YouTube, and the links will be on our webpage. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.